I'm a firm believer that words and logic are nothing but navigating vehicles used to explore our soul. And sometimes these navigating vehicles are like land vehicles, and sometimes the greatest parts of our soul lie in the deepest of oceans, and we are not granted the mediums needed to explore that. Well, lucky for you, you are fluent in a language that you have not been taught, but in a language that you have always known ever since you've come to exist. And that language is one of the soul itself. That's why I believe that the greatest of bonds are formed between the people that allow one another to be without having to necessarily always speak and contaminate the silence with empty words that do not need to be said. Sometimes you learn a lot more about people by observing and not saying a word. Sometimes connections are simply formed by allowing one another to coexist in the same space, by allowing one another to experience lows and highs and everything in between in the same space, allowing one another to express it either onto one another, either with one another, whatever the case may be, but then allowing each other to release it. Those are the bonds that are the greatest. And you may even come to realize that there might be people that you've been knowing for years, people that you've spoken to, people that know the ins and outs of exactly who you are, but they simply don't connect with you the same as the people that you've allowed to really be in your space and really just simply be with you. Because maybe the most profound language we have is being. And maybe no amount of words can really amount to the language of being. So with that being said, see who you can really be around and see where the real connections are and see where it is not forced. Go to the places where you do not need to say much. You do not need to either stay on eggshells or keep someone on eggshells or whatever the case may be. You do not need to perform or entertain someone else performing in order for a bond to stay. But you can actually surrender. You can surrender yourself to whatever feeling that may come. And they do the same. And you guys are in it together. Surrendering together and being together. That is the ultimate game changer. That is the foundation of every great bond. So don't get lost in practicing what you've been taught to the point where you become unfamiliar with the language that you've always known. Stop indulging in this mindlessness. Stop indulging in corrupting your being, your soul, simply to find some gratification. Surrender to the experience and, enjoy it while you are here. You have been blessed with a life and guaranteed with a death. And the greatest thing that you can do is live in flow state while you are here, instead of worrying about what is to come with a outcome attachment or anticipating certain things because of what happened in the past, altering your view of life because of what happened in the past, assigning negative beliefs to yourself because of what happened in the past. You are more than the past, and you are more than what you think will come in the future, because your idea of the future is nothing but imagination. And the past is nothing but a memory now. But yeah, that's all I have to say.